Hey guys, Zazubaar here, and I know I haven't produced a solo video in a while. Last couple things I've posted, including the SOS podcast and the DBZ movie reviews that were coming off of Dylan's channel, have all kind of been group things and things I haven't produced just on my own, of my own volition, with me being the only force behind them. And I kind of missed that about being a YouTube person. But what's this video about? Well, I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, so that's a problem. So it might be a little cryptic. I don't know. I don't know how future Bill's feeling today. But I know that present Bill wants to do one more Dragon Ball Z video. Now, it's not a review. It's not going to be my thoughts on anything. Well, it is going to be my thoughts on something, but it's not like a review or an analysis or in any way or a criticism, whatever. It's an idea that I kind of had. Well, two ideas. Kind of. Okay. So, Dragon Ball GT is a piece of shit. That's an undisputable fact. It is a piece of shit. It's not how Dragon Ball Z should have been continued. The music score is awful. The story direction is terrible. There are some really good ideas nestled amongst a pile of shit, which makes it more infuriating. Because you've got concepts like the Shadow Dragons and Baby, which are really good ideas, nestled under a pile of garbage. Just pure garbage. Now, I don't want to turn this into a review of Dragon Ball GT because that'd be too easy. So, what I'm going to do, as someone who despises Dragon Ball GT, with the knowledge that there are people out there who like Dragon Ball GT, and I acknowledge that those people exist. You're fully whatever you want to do. If you want to like Dragon Ball GT, that's fine. I hate it. So I am going to lay out how Dragon Ball Z could have continued in this video. Well, not like encompassing, not like every character, like an overarching story. I'm going to say what I would have done with the universe post Dragon Ball Z. That's not GT. So, first things first, you acknowledge everything in Dragon Ball Z happened, including the ending. I know some people don't like the ending. I'm okay with the ending. It kind of makes sense for Goku to train the next savior of the world. It kind of makes sense because Oob is a character who, just like Goku, came from a dark place to become a hero. For those of you who don't know what happened at the end of Dragon Ball Z, I won't go too far into it, but because I like it, I'll say this. Basically, the last villain of the Dragon Ball Z universe was Majin Oob. And Goku defeated him, but before Goku killed Majin, or Kid Buu, I said, whoa, I fucked up. I think I said Oob. Majin Buu is the last story arc. And before Goku kills him, he makes a, well, not really a wish, because there's no dragon, but he says, maybe you'll come back one day as a good person. I'd like that. And then the last thing he says is, we'll meet again, Majin Buu. And then Goku kills him. So, what happens after that, I think it's 10 years later, maybe? Goten and Trunks are teenagers, so I guess I'm going to say 10 years. And Goku and Goten are training to join this world tournament thing, and what happens is what Goku wanted to happen. Majin Buu comes back as a good person, as a kid named Oob who looks kind of foreign. I'm not sure what race he's supposed to be. He looks a little, this is going to sound really racist, but he looks Indian. If you think that's racist, I apologize. That's just the impression I got. So, this is the reincarnation of Majin Buu. I don't know how that happened. I don't know who granted Goku's wish. There's been no evidence in the Dragon Ball Z universe having a comprehensive explanation for how the afterlife works that in any way states or implies that reincarnation is a thing. Because, losing my voice, you see souls flying around up there. The good people get to keep their bodies. Now, it's not a stretch. It's Dragon Ball Z, so I'm not going to criticize the science, but it's a little weird. Anyway, I am going on a really big tangent, but I apologize. Anyway, so Majin Oob, or Oob, rather, is is the reincarnation of Boo. Goku fights him. Goku kicks his ass, but it manages to kind of do the same thing that Piccolo did with Gohan and anger him to the point where his true power comes out. Oob beats up Goku. Goku beats up... It's a fight. Goku ends up, you know, kind of showing you need to be trained because I'm holding back big time, so we can fix that. And agrees to become Oob's master, which is a really good end to Goku. Now, there's this unusual ending that I always liked a lot. Because Vegeta is my favorite character in Dragon Ball Z. Just because he's really interesting. I love villains who become heroes. And Vegeta is the best example of that. He was this fucking asshole who became, not a great person, but he became a hero. He became Goku's best buddy. He wouldn't admit to that, but he would. He did. So, Vegeta has this line at the end of Dragon Ball Z. Whoa, my God, my voice is going out. Sorry. Okay. So, Vegeta has this series of lines at the end. I don't remember them verbatim, but I remember it basically going like this. So, you're going to train Oob to keep the peace. Is that it, Kakarot? Just doing that? I think there's more to it than you're admitting. Which is a really ominous way to end Dragon Ball Z. Because the ending where Goku and Oob laugh on screen, just like, oh, we're going to be friends and I'm going to train you, is really upbeat. It's like, oh, this is the end of this amazing show that everyone's a fan of. So Vegeta has this line that's really kind of ominous. Because it's like, yeah, that's a good point. Why is Goku leaving his friends and family again to go off and train this kid? Now, I get it. Goku is a great, noble angel, basically, who wants to pass on his incredible fighting skills to someone else. Because, you know, even though he's come back to life 3 times, he's still mortal. So, I suppose training them in that way makes sense. My only problem with it is if you've got 2 really strong kids who are both Super Saiyans, pass that legacy on to them. But whatever, I still like the ending. That line by Vegeta is fucking ominous, though. So, here's how I can kind of interpret it, having seen Dragon Ball GT and knowing that it doesn't in any way continue what that line implies, in just being a piece of shit. Here's how Dragon Ball Z should have continued, and maybe perhaps should have ended, put a cap on the universe like GT tries to do and fails miserably at. So here's how it could be taken. Now, Goku may be mortal. He may be able to be killed in a fight, which is I think the implication of him going off and training a new kid to take on the peace, or to keep the peace rather. But wouldn't it be really ironic if Goku wasn't killed in a fight, but was killed just by mortality? Just by sheer... Because while Goku's an alien, Saiyans are basically humans with funky powers. So he's human for the most part. He's not like a Time Lord where they look human, but on the inside it's all fucked up. No, he's human basically through and through. But he just can't... He's just got a tail and can go Super Saiyan. It's really the equivalent of it. And his hair doesn't change, which turned out to be bullshit anyway. Anyway, wow, tangents. Okay, so it's been done in Dragon Ball Z before where Goku has gotten sick to the point where it threatens his life with the heart virus. What was it called again? The accelerated heart disease? There was a fucking name for it that I memorized as a kid because it was a power-up. Okay, it was a really weird thing. In Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, you could add Capsule Corp power-ups or handicaps to your character. And one of them was the heart disease that Goku got in the Cell Saga, so that way you couldn't recharge your power, and your life bar would keep going down like you were having a heart attack, which was pretty cool. For nothing more than the novelty of it, of course, as a player, you're like, fuck, I'm dying! But it adds a little wrinkle to the gameplay. So, it's been done, but it gets remedied, and it was introduced before it happened. Because Trunks goes back in time and tells Goku that he's going to die. So, here's what I propose. what if Goku knows he has a terminal disease? Now, it doesn't have to be something serious like Goku's got fucking cancer, but what if it's something connected to the continuity? So here's what I propose. Goku has come back to life several times. It's either 2 or 3, I don't remember. I think it's Raditz, the Saiyan Saga, and then the Cells, and then Majin Buu. So I guess 2. Technically 2. But it feels like more. So what if being brought back to life by the Dragon Balls fucks with your health? And because Goku has done it so often, it gave him a disease. Not intentionally, but as Dragon Ball GT tried to do, using the Dragon Balls has consequences because it produces some fucked up shit. It produces Shadow Dragons and Dark Energy. So what if we kind of played with that and brought it into a cooler thing, and we said, okay, Goku has, his body is kind of melting, or he's falling apart, because, or like shutting down maybe, his immune system's falling apart, something along those lines, because he was brought back to life by the Dragon Ball so much. You know, it could even be like an overdose kind of thing, where because he did it so much, the energy that it required fucked with his body. Just as a consequence of using the Dragon Balls, which DT tried to do, and it started to do it really well, but then the Shadow Dragons sucked, so that was a problem. So we'll do it in a different way, a smaller way. You don't even have to show this happening. Here's what I propose. Well, you would have to show it, but you wouldn't have to do it as like a full movie. So you open... We'll do it as a mini-series, I suppose. You open a mini-series of Dragon Ball Z continuations with some kind of being coming down, taking the Dragon Balls and saying, you have overused these and you're destroying, something's happening to the universe because they've used the Dragon Balls so much. And he says, I'm going to use the Dragon Balls as a personal power source and take them away from you because you're causing problems. Essentially, this guy would like want to become God. Because if you have the Dragon Balls and you're using them as a power source, you're essentially God. Imagine what you could do with that. And I think that that's kind of a cool idea. Now, you could do a whole movie around that, so maybe someone else wants to do that. I'll be like, go ahead. I'm going to be over here and do my thing. So go ahead, do a full movie about that dude and Goku's struggle against him. But this dude, you'd have to explain this, come up with an explanation of why does this guy know so much about the Dragon Balls that we didn't already know. Because, you know, once you get to the later parts of Dragon Ball Z, the way Dende talks about them, they're essentially like an iPhone, and you can put on whatever apps you want. Because, I mean, he literally gives Shenron an update, because, I think it was during the Cell Saga that he did this. He fixes the Earth Dragon Balls like the Namekian Dragon Balls, where you still get one wish, but instead of the limit on you can only bring back someone once, you can bring them back as many times as you want. So, that's fucked up. So this guy would call that out and be like, that's not right, that's not happening. I'm amending that. So he takes the Dragon Balls and uses them as a personal power source. And, you know, who the fuck could stop him? We play with it. Somehow Goku finds a way. But, and Oob would be in there too. You know, maybe Goku doesn't do it. I'm sick of Goku saving the world. Here's what happens. Goku starts to fight this guy. This is after Dragon Ball Z. This is after Goku has trained Oob to become another Z fighter. So, Oob goes to fight this guy, but Goku, being the heroic character that he is, would be like, this is my mistake, I have to fight this guy. But what if Goku died in the midst of battle, kind of like he almost did in the Cell Saga, from a disease? Like, the whole reason Goku trained Oob as his protege was because he knew he wasn't going to be around for much longer. He knew that he would need someone to fill in his shoes. Again, why he doesn't pick his kids, I don't know. But whatever, this kid's powerful, so he's the new savior of the Earth because Goku has a heart attack or something in the midst of the fight, and he dies. Where am I going with all this? That's kind of the point. This is all actually kind of explanation to get me to a certain concept. I want to create a world without Goku and without the Dragon Balls. Because I think it'd be interesting to see where the universe goes without those two key things that are kind of at the forefront of the Dragon Ball Z universe. So here's the story I want to tell post this Dragon Ball situation. So the Dragon Balls are gone now. They're destroyed in the fight, and Goku is dead. Officially. He's not coming back, he's dead. Just of his own mortality. He didn't get killed in a fight. He wasn't robbed of us prematurely. He died officially. That's Goku's official death. In my make-pretend bullshit Dragon Ball Z world. So we accelerate to like 25 years in the future. And we find ourselves with a new protagonist. We find ourselves with a very familiar guy named Vegeta. So here's the story I would love to tell in the Dragon Ball Z world. It would be called Dragon Ball Z Saiyan Prince. And it would be about essentially Old Man Vegeta. It'd kind of be like Marvel's Old Man Logan, but with Vegeta. So I guess another name you could call it is Old Man Vegeta. So what will be happening is Vegeta is really old. And he's kind of stopped fighting, A, because Goku's dead, and what the hell's the point after that? And, I mean, he still, like, makes sure his body is still, like, able to fight, but, I mean, he maintains it, but he doesn't really train that hard because he's old and stuff. And he's kind of finally said, alright, the legacy is with Goten, Trunks, Gohan, Oob, all those younger Z fighters. So, Vegeta would just be chilling out at Capsule Corp. If Vegeta's old, Bulma's even older because in Dragon Ball Z, they reveal that Saiyans age drastically slower than humans do. So, Bulma might even be dead by the time Vegeta looks noticeably old. Because he looks the same at the end of Dragon Ball Z that he did when the Buu Saga was still going on, and Bulma looked noticeably older. Whoa, which they draw attention to. So, what I would do is do this story with Old Man Vegeta. And what would happen is, the Earth would have been at peace, but because of the Dragon Balls, there's a lot less conflict and stuff because no one's going out and chasing them. There's no giant evil villains looking for the Dragon Balls. And the Z Fighters, as they stand, have kind of become complacent. And what would happen is Goten and Trunks would fall out of practice. Trunks would become the president of Capsule Corp. And he would just kind of become a scientist and businessman. Kind of the same thing with Gohan, because that's what Gohan was at the end of Dragon Ball Z. Not so much a businessman, but he was a scientist. So Gohan's a scientist, and he works at Capsule Corp with Trunks. As like the senior science officer, whatever you want to call it. And Goten is basically a man whore at the end of Dragon Ball Z. So, you turn him into a, I don't know, what could Goten be? Goten can be a professional race car driver. How does that sound? Something along those lines. Maybe he's a professional athlete, but not a fighter. So, Goten, Trunks, and Gohan, the linchpin of saving the world in the future, have fell out of practice. And suddenly, also, big wrinkle, Vegeta can't really go Super Saiyan anymore, because his body, because as they establish in Dragon Ball Z, the Super Saiyan transformation requires a lot of energy. Whether or not you've done it before, it requires a lot of power. So, if you don't have that power, you can't transform. So, because Vegeta's old, his body can't really withstand the transformation anymore. It would require a lot of backup power in order to do it. Going Super Saiyan 2 is straight up impossible. He can't even go Super Saiyan anymore. I forgot to mention Oob would be a professional fighter at this point. But with his own family and stuff, so everyone's kind of become complacent. A dark shadow looms over Earth in the form of a space conqueror. A king who because here's another aspect of the DBZ universe they never really explained, and that's what happened to Frieza's empire after he died. They kind of go into it with, and especially after King Cold and Mecha Frieza dying on Earth. So, who the fuck is running that empire? Because Cooler's dead, King Cold's dead, Frieza's dead, and we never saw any other tyrants beyond that. So, that, you know, whether or not an empire was terrible and disgusting and just awful, once you take that kind of government control out of the equation, societies fall apart. People die because of the lack of control, the lack of structure. So what if, out of, like, after that, after Goku killed Frieza and Trunks killed Mecha Frieza and King Cold, and Goku killed Cooler and Metacooler, after all the tyrants are out of the way, the controllers of the galaxy, there was chaos, just a kind of dark ages of the DBZ galaxy. And we find out that long before Dragon Ball Z, or not long before, a little bit before Dragon Ball Z started, Vegeta had a second son. Because Vegeta, before Dragon Ball Z, or even during the early seasons of Dragon Ball Z, was essentially a cruel space pirate who went around raping and pillaging and destroying planets like his Saiyan ancestors. So he works for Frieza in that way. He goes around blowing up planets and conquering them for Frieza. So it would not surprise me at all. In fact, it would make quite a bit of sense that Saiyans like Vegeta and any other race that works for Frieza in that capacity would potentially rape the females of their conquered society. So let's say Vegeta destroys another world, and, you know, or not, doesn't destroy it, but he conquers it for Frieza and subjugates the people to Frieza's rule. Let's say he does a pirate type thing with one of their females, and she gets pregnant. Obviously Vegeta is gone at this point, so he just left. He didn't even stick around to find out her name. So Vegeta, or this kid, the produced kid, would be half Saiyan, and finds out via his mother who the fuck destroyed part of his race and conquered his planet, and also knocked up his mom and left her for dead. He doesn't like his dad very much. So I don't know what this guy would be called. Maybe something like maybe something from Galactic Legend, like an enemy of the Saiyans, like maybe a Tuffle King or something. I don't know. We'll give him a name at some point. So he wants revenge against his father, and it takes him years to train and get powerful. And once Frieza's out of the picture, it's chaos in the galaxy, and his planet's up for grabs. So a bunch of different parties, including what's left of the tyrants, what's left of Frieza's army, come to conquer it, and come to establish control over it. And his mother is being assaulted again, and knowing what Vegeta did, he freaks out, tries to defend his mother, gets his ass kicked, and has that emotional response and goes Super Saiyan and wipes out all the invading armies, and rises up as the new king of Frieza's or the new lord of Frieza's empire. And taking years and years to do this, works his way to Earth, where he finds out Vegeta is. And that's where our movie is. This guy lands on Earth and just decimates part of the population. Oob and all the other Z fighters who are still around and young go up against him. And he has a particular hate for Trunks, because Trunks is the legitimate child of Vegeta. And he has to fight with Trunks, reveals to Trunks who he is. And eventually, seeing that, like, maybe Trunks contacts Vegeta and is like, "Father, this is what's going on." And Vegeta goes towards this guy and starts to talk to him. They have a conversation. This guy reveals to Vegeta who he is, why he hates him. And one of the things I want to happen is I want Vegeta to start to fight this guy. And this guy is just like, say my mother's name. And Vegeta never took the time to find out. I just think that would be insanely fucked up. Essentially, I want this movie to be about Vegeta. And Vegeta kind of reconciling with his old life and affirming his new one. Because Vegeta has always been very touch and go with his life on Earth, especially as we saw in the Buu Saga with Majin Vegeta, where he was fully willing to give up his good side and his life on Earth for more power and the ability to kill Goku in a fight. But in the Buu Saga, he definitely went through some major character development and reconciled that. And at the end, him and Goku are essentially friends. I mean, he's still cold and kind of distant, but he's not evil anymore at all. And in GT, even, he's a straight-up good guy. So what happens is Vegeta starts to fight him, gets his ass kicked. This guy reveals to him that he's a Super Saiyan. And Vegeta realizes he's the only one who can defeat him because it's his son, and he's the only one who even remotely stayed in practice after all these years. But he can't go Super Saiyan because of how old he is. So he keeps fighting him and fighting him and fighting him. And, you know, I also want... What's going to happen is Bulma is going to come onto the fray to throw out some sensu beans and some medicine. And the Conqueror, Vegeta's illegitimate son, sees Bulma and is like, "Is that your wife?" And Vegeta's just like, "You leave her out of this. This is you're my problem, my mistake." And the Conqueror reaches up his hand, and Vegeta's just like, "Don't you do it. Don't do it." Psh, and the guy kills Bulma. And Vegeta has a breaking point. And he goes Super Saiyan again. This is the first time Vegeta has gone Super Saiyan in years. And promptly beats the shit out of the Conqueror. And also, just for a nice bit of closure, I also would have Vegeta die in the fight just from sheer virtue of being old. That his body just can't stand the transformation anymore, so he just drops dead. At the end after killing him. So that's essentially my idea. Is there anything else I wanted to say about it? Not really. That's just my thought on what could potentially be a cool way to continue the Dragon Ball Z universe. And do a nice Vegeta story. Vegeta has never been the focal point of his own story. Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, hinted at that, but even then, again, it's Goku's story. I am a big Vegeta fan. I want to see Vegeta get his due. I want to give him a movie all about him. So that would be Vegeta's movie, in which he's old and is fighting his illegitimate son, and I think it'd be pretty cool. So that's really all I have to say about it. I don't know what I guess I already said the title, Dragon Ball Z Saiyan Prince, just because it's about Vegeta and his illegitimate heir to his illegitimate throne. So that's the idea. Leave comments. I'm interested to see what some other Z fans think about this because I think it's a cool idea, though I came up with it, so I'm kind of biased. So let me know. Would that be better or worse than Dragon Ball GT? Is that a kind of a cool way to continue Dragon Ball Z? How would you continue Dragon Ball Z? So just comment. Let me know what you think. That's going to be it for now. We went a half hour, so that's not terrible. Pretty short, considering I wanted to basically pitch an entire story. So that's my DBZ idea. Look out for some more videos soon. I apologize if they're not going to come out as frequently as they were over the summer. Probably no live shows for a while by that same token because of college and stuff, and it's rough. And just because of work and life, and, you know, that's kind of getting in the way right now. But we'll see. I'll definitely try and keep up on some regular stuff. Obviously, look out for the Sons of Serizawa podcast. Be sure to join the Toho Nation Facebook page for more regular updates on what's going on with our circle of YouTubers. And also just to hook up with some great Godzilla fans, hook up with me, Adam, and David, and all those other guys, all those other great guys, and Andres. What else? Watch Geeky Gentlemen. What else? And also be sure to follow me on Twitter for some more regular updates on what's going on over here at the channel. I don't know, stuff on Godzilla, stuff on stuff. I basically react to any entertainment news I hear. As soon as I hear it, I post on Twitter. So if you're interested, go check that out. So follow me at Bill_Worster, and you'll go right to my to my Twitter page. Hovering around like 30 followers. So come on, guys. For my self-esteem, push up my followers. Anyway, so if you want to follow me on Twitter at Bill_Worster. So that's going to do it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Zazubaar, and I'll see you guys later.